Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, hello, Crystal. How's it going today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Crystal, I'm excited to dive into this interview because you have a great background and professional resume that I'm looking at here. But if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about yourself as well as your professional experience.
Okay. I have over 25 years of administrative assistant, customer service type experience. Recently, executive administrative assistant for Casey's Corporation. That's in Ankeny, Iowa. I was there for 3.5 years. Um, Prior to that, I was in Orlando for a year and a half, and unfortunately, it was during COVID hit when I was here in Orlando. Um, Prior to that, I was 12 years at a company called American Equity in West Des Moines. It's executive assistant there. So I've always enjoyed being in the admin role and helping others.
That's incredible. And thank you for that brief introduction to your professional experience. You've been in the administrative assistant, executive assistant realm for quite some time now, excuse me. What is it about that role that really keeps you in it?
I just love helping people, helping others. So that's my main, I think, objective of it is I a people person and knowing if I at the end of the day I've helped keep people organized and greet people and just helping people overall. I think that's why I've always enjoyed it so much. I'm a server. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And thank you for sharing that. You mentioned organization. So when it comes down to, just going to give you an example here, when it comes down to managing an executive's inbox, for example, how are you able to ensure the most critical emails are being seen and handled properly overall?
Um, sorry, just knowing what is the most important um, that they need, and knowing who is just like kind of a vendor, maybe, or you know, that can be put on the back burner if they're not as important as, say, their lead director or lead CEO, or they're always going to take top notch. So yeah,
Right.
I've always been able
Absolutely.
to prioritize once I get at a company and get a feel for the employees, the people, the structure. So that helps. So and
Yeah,
then
that
go from
all comes to
there.
play. Amazing. And you mentioned prioritize or priorities as well. So how are you able to prioritize your tasks when you're having to deal with a few deadlines? How are you able to prioritize that?
Just knowing who is the most important, what needs to be done first. I like to make lists or color code, by who and what. So and then check them off as I go. So
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Now, I want to go back to your previous roles. If you don't mind, tell me kind of what your day-to-day looked like over at Casey's corporate office. You were the executive assistant there for about, 4 years or so. So tell me what your day-to-day looked like.
yeah, so I had three people, three VPs that I handled. I was in the IT department, so that was one of the biggest departments there at the corporation. So there was two of us EAs, so we shared, then we back each other up as well. Um, So sometimes if she was gone, I would have her people as well, and I could have up to 7 to 8 calendars open at one time, and then as well as our group, like we had groups and teams and things like that, and I kept track of the calendars. Like I said, I'd come in every day and take care of calendars and make sure I had one that always wanted his printed off for him and put on his desk. He liked looking at it. So, and then, yeah, so just calendars was a lot of it, organization of conference rooms. I'd order supplies, make sure, everything was stocked up, uh, expense reports, travel reports, or travel arrangements as well. I did a lot of, I set up like our offsites events because the group was too big to have in the office. So that was always fun. I enjoyed doing that because I got to, order the breakfast, order the lunches, you know, people are always happy when you feed them. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that was always like one of the positive roles I got to do there, like being a little event planner. So yeah.
That sounds fun. It sounds like you were very busy at that role, even sometimes having to manage 8 calendars at a time. I'm sure that that was a time in itself. Now, we mentioned calendars. I want to talk about systems that you've used. What are some systems that you have used and are comfortable with using?
use Outlook, Teams, Microsoft package, the Excel, Word, I think PowerPoint. We used Oracle, and I think the other one we used for travel expenses. There's a app that we use for travel expenses as
Mhm.
well. So yeah,
Amazing.
those
I
are
know
all the
we
big
use
ones.
Concor. Have you used Concor at all for like expenses?
Concor I have before, yes. Can't think
Awesome.
of the name
That's
of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. And so we know that you're looking for a new position, Crystal. So what would the ideal role look like for you?
Just going in the office and um, working with people and having I love to an open door policy, be able to go in and ask questions. Once I know my task, obviously I'm good at working independently as well. Just love interacting with people and smiling and talking to people and seeing, how I can help them. And even if they're not my direct reports, like managers even, I would help them as well. I mean, they didn't come first and foremost, but of course I'm always willing to help them as well.
That's
And
great
directors. So
insight.
yeah.
That's amazing. And I appreciate you sharing that, Crystal. As far as a timeline to start a new position, when were you looking to start?
Within a couple weeks. Yeah.
Mhm. Would that be about 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
2 weeks is, yeah, fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great, Crystal. I do want to go ahead and conclude this interview and thank you
Okay.
for again the time that we're spending together here. I appreciate all the details you were able to give me as well.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, Chris, I want to ask for you to stay on the line with me really quickly just so we can chat and then we'll hop off from there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.